Hello everyone, I call myself Zondagskind and I like to play Civilization 6. And we're still testing out the leader ability of Ramses II, Abu Simbel, as well as going for a diplomatic victory. Last episode we got to 6 diplomatic victory points and went over 1000 culture on aggregate from the ability. So place your bets where we'll be at the end of these 40 turns. As you can see happening, China lost a city, the city of Chengdu, due to this game being in dramatic ages and them falling into a dark age, which made the war against them a lot less interesting to pursue, and I would actually declare peace with them a couple of turns later when a unit was being cornered. Meanwhile, on turn 130 we settled the great city of Scythia, right where there was still a spot between Georgia and ourselves. Turn 141, Chengdu flipped to us by means of loyalty, which also means we incorporated the wonder Machu Picchu, which gave a couple of districts extra adjacency. It wasn't really something I planned a lot for, but it was a nice little boon. Then a nice little wonder sprint. First, at turn 148, the Colossus in Yongle gives you a free trade route capacity plus a trader unit. It's one of those wonders which doesn't give a huge effect, but traders are always useful. So it's a wonder you don't always need to get, but one that is never useless. Then, turn 149, Potala Palace gives you a free diplomatic policy slot as well as a diplomatic victory point. So we got to 7 out of 20 points by building this wonder. Definitely one you want to go for in a diplomacy victory, but one that can be quite hard to get because the AI also really likes to build it. And then turn 151 we got St. Basil's Cathedral in Shedet. It gives yields on tundra tiles mostly. I don't care about the relic tourism in this game, but the yields on the tundra tiles were very nice, especially since I had used Maui to put down resources in that tundra, so those tiles were nice and juicy. Meanwhile, we had gotten to the 3rd Congress at turn 150. In all honesty, I did save scum for this one because I originally missed one of the resolutions and I didn't want to delay my win. Looking back, I actually didn't even need to do that, but in any case, the AI really wanted to ban the amenities from incense. Even looking back, I don't understand why they targeted incense. And they wanted more yields from trading with scientific city-states, which is fine by me. So, I got the 2 diplomatic victory points, and because of the save scum, I kept all of my diplomatic favor. Yes, I am a cheat. Sue me. And while our country was getting industrialized with factories and coal power plants, we tested something interesting when we got the great merchant Giovanni de' Medici, who builds you a market and a bank for free. I wanted to test out if this also counted towards Abu Simbel and gave you culture. And it turns out it does. When we got the market and the bank, we got a little bit of culture from that. So that also works, and that should also mean that it works on the other great people, giving you buildings like Hypatia and Isaac Newton for great scientists, Horatio Nelson, off the top of my head, James Watt should also give you culture. Sadly, city-states are always in a precarious situation when it comes to deity AI, and the city-state right on our border, Buenos Aires, was under attack from China for a very, very long time. China, in the end, did conquer it, and of course, not being able to keep it because of loyalty, decided to raise it, which is sad, but it did leave a little bit of room for us to settle a city of our own. And on turn 163, we settled the city of Mendes, in remembrance of Buenos Aires, of course. In the city of Memphis, I had built an entertainment complex because I had found a spot for it, where it would influence 6 cities with the zoo and the stadium. They are buildings which give an area of effect and influence cities within 6 tiles. So, the pretty fine entertainment complex was there, and then I found out that none of the AI had built Colosseum yet. Now, Colosseum is a wonder I actually build too little, because it can be amazing if you build it in the right spot. The one we got, first of all, was of course pretty late, and it only influenced 5 cities because it was just out of reach of the 6th one. But still, it gave 10 culture per turn, and 10 amenities mostly. In any case, a fine Colosseum if you can pick it up basically for free. And the next turn, apparently the people took the building of the Colosseum as their cue to head towards a new style of government. The Egyptian Empire went into a democratic style of government. Democracy is absolutely amazing. It is easily the best tier 3 government because it gives you a bunch of yields on trade routes with allies and city-states that you are the suzerain of. Honestly, outside of domination games, I rarely find any reason to not take democracy. And with all these amenities and with all this democratic style of governing came a new spirit of industrialization in our people. Turn 166, Ruhr Valley was built in the capital of Thebes. I actually went and did the maths on what Ruhr Valley is doing for us there, because it both gives you extra production on mines and quarries in the city and then also a production modifier. What it came down to is that the city on its own had about 90 production per turn, and then it went to 120 production. So in practice for this city, it was actually more like a 33% modifier, which of course, especially since we get culture from producing stuff, is a very nice bonus indeed. But what would a democracy be without a parliament to house the debates in? So, turn 168 in the city of Gory, once a Georgian city, we built the Országház, the parliament building. Now, the Országház is a wonder which gives you plus 100%, i.e. plus 1, diplomatic favor for being the suzerain of a city-state. In effect, since we were the suzerain of 5 city-state, this gave us 5 diplomatic favor per turn, which honestly, since we were getting 3 diplomatic favor per city from having pagodas and having our Renaissance walls, wasn't even that big of a deal. But, I mean, any diplomatic favor you have is diplomatic favor you can use. So, I'll take it. And so we came to the end of the Renaissance era and went into the Industrial era, but not before Greece, as an AI, destroyed another city-state and took over and kept the city of Bologna. And that, in hindsight, was a mistake, because Georgia, who was also on the border of Bologna, would not stand for this. They called on the world to help liberate Bologna in a city-state emergency. And our people, having seen how the people of Buenos Aires were brutally murdered in the razing of their city, of course, also thought that this would not stand, and they called on the government to help fight the evil oppressors from Greece. I really just thought that I could liberate Bologna and get a nice chunk of diplomatic favor from that. So, I joined Georgia in that military emergency, city-state emergency, I should say, and how that will go, you will see in the next episode. So, I hope you liked this one. Please do leave a like if you did, and if you want to know when the next episode goes live, then do subscribe and ding that bell so you will keep up to date. And I will see you in the next one. Bye bye!